Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, November 17th, 2022. Thanksgiving is a week from today, and we will be dark next Thursday for obvious reasons. So we'll do Monday and Tuesday, Tuesday and Wednesday, but not Thursday. Please do note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. This type of trading carries significant risks and should only be undertaken with risk capital, i.e., capital that you can afford to lose. All right. Market opens in less than a minute. About 50 seconds. YM is flat. Excuse me. Soybeans is flat. The Russell has touched the entry, so if it hits a stop now, this trade is off the table. But that would be... I typically don't get in sync with the Russell, but that one is close enough to our start. I don't know. That's 5 minutes ahead. I would say that's not one to get in sync with. But I believe that went through a bit too fast to catch even so. So no trade on the Russell. And yeah, looks like you should be in the short on soybeans. Nice size trade. 11 ticks to target one, and it's got within one tick. Okay, the Russell is short. YM is still flat. No trades yet. Good morning, William, Miles, Pamela. Please do say hello. And as I mentioned yesterday, the volume on crude did roll this morning, so we are in the January contract. All right. Nothing new yet. There's a short on the YM. 322 for the entry. And we got as low as 331. $321. So, and that was only 4 seconds, so that was too fast to trade. There was a long trade. 14 second and definitely in that now for sure. And there is money management and target one on the soybeans. So soybeans will be one and done today. With an 11 tick winner, the YM has pushed through its 200 EMA on the 14 tick range bar, 14 point momentum bar for TradeStation users. Pound Aussie just went through target one on a long trade that is part of our trade plan. So I'm just managing there. Thank you. That's why I'm being quiet. So 8:30 start. We have this long trade that bounces around. You get a short at 22. And then the long at 46. All the way up where that yellow line is. And it just went through money management. So stop at 47. And soybeans just stopped out for a tick, or is it two? 1475. The entry was 15.0. Yeah, one tick. So it's 14 ticks net total on soybeans, 4 positions. We're still long on the YM, going kind of back and forth. Still no trades on the Russell. That stop and reverse to long did stay in place. Because it did touch the unadjusted entry. Got close to the stop, but survived. Well, no, actually it didn't survive. Stopped out at 47 because of the stop and reverse adjust. There is a short on the Russell. And a 13-second bar on bar number 2, so I would say we're in that. Needs to go 14 ticks to get money management. And there we are. So we're at break even and stopping out at break even. And we did take a full stop out on the YM. 42 tick risk, 84 tick net loss. Looking for another trade now. So one break even on the Russell. Crude oil, January contract. 7 seconds on that bar. The next bar has a wick up to the entry. So I would say we're in that short. And certainly in it when it comes back up. Actually, when that came within 3 ticks of money management. You can choose to work that either way. So stop and reverse would be at 33 and won't change what happens here. But that meanders around. You get a stop and reverse here with key level adjustment and stop and reverse adjust comes down to 83.04, and that survives in the long, and we get 18 and 30s, 48 ticks on the stop and reverse, 52 if you didn't pick up the short. The short loss was from 19 to 33, 14, 28. So we'd be 20 ticks positive, and that would be POQ on the day. And we have another long on the YM, this time from 346. Yes, 346, just above the 200 EMA. And it looks like this one is, this one goes through money management. Target at 367. And we got the 370. So there's the target one. 21 ticks. And we said we were 84. So we're down 73, down 72. And that's a squeeze zone trade. So that trade is filtered. Unleaded, Pound Aussie stopped out of that trade. Pound Aussie looking for another trade. Unleaded gas, 9 o'clock start. This one at 9:01. Too fast to catch. On the same second as the setup bar, you were halfway to money management and never came back. So that one, that's not tradable. This short at 9:08.52, we spiked 1 tick beyond the entry. And I suspect that was a spike down and turned back around. But I will count the stop out at 126 ticks, net loss, 2 positions. So then we come back to the long. Target 1 traders get 39 ticks on the target. And the trailing stop is at 44.72 from the entry at 92. So we got 80 ticks. Oh, that's 119 for target 1. And what was it we said? This This little short was 126. Now we're down 7 ticks for target 1. Target 2, that you would be POQ after that second trade, because you pick up 61 and 80 for 141. It's a very slightly positive. Target 1 traders get the short, pick up another target 1 for 46, and that's going to put you POQ. And that's actually the trade of the morning. Target 1 wins by the luck of the draw, as it caught this really nice trailer. So both target 1 and target 2 traders positive this morning on unleaded. And a third, trade number 3, another long on the YM. Down 72 at the moment. No, I'm sorry, 62. And this trade is not, man, that looks like a full stop out. 328 to stop, and we touched it. So that's a full stop out. 29.58 and 62 is even 120 ticks. All right, the Russell 50, 52, 10. That one I would say is most likely would have been avoided because that spiked up and pulled back. The short didn't trigger this long. 7 seconds on that bar, and you have a nice long wick here. Definitely in that for a break-even trade. So that's 2 break-evens. This short, I would say that, again, that's likely to be a non-tradable trade, and a potential long now just triggered in. Plenty of time to get in that. And I also need to pull up the MNQ down here. Let's see where we were at 8:34, 9:34 on my chart, but 8:34 exchange time. Too far on that long. Okay, we have a same second bar and then a pullback. I'm going to say that one was probably avoidable. Big long because of the wick down here. But we do get a wick that gets us in the trade. So long on MNQ, long on the M2K, both the micro Russell and the micro NQ. And a fourth long trade, and all of these are off of moving averages. Oops. So I am in trade number 4. Russell has hit money management, trying to pick up target 3, is this going to be another break even? There's money management, and for the MNQ, that was a big target 1 because of the wick. How big a target 1 was? That's a 33.5 point target 1. That's bigger than normal target 2. and the risk was 26.75. Trade that big, would be very likely to go ahead and take some profit at target one. Take a position off at target one. Being as that target is actually larger than your normal target too. And good morning, Trader Man. I missed that comment. All right, the YM had a squeeze zone filtered trade on the short side. That's I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 filtered shorts, all in the squeeze zone. Looks like we may take threatening a third full loss here. And the Russell with a third break even. And we're in the short, it looks like, on the Russell. And a third full stop out on the YM. 332, and we touched it again. This is not looking good. Full loss, break even. Actually, target one and break even. And 2 more full losses. 4 trades. And looking for another trade. We are in the January crude contract, by the way. January on crude and unleaded now. Volume on crude did roll over this morning. Transitioned over to the January contract. About 3-1. Yesterday was about, when I looked at it yesterday morning, it was about 2-1 December. And this morning it's about 3-1 January. And there is a loss. That's trade number 4 on the Russell. Russell trade number 5. Short trade. And just triggered in. MNQ stopping and reversing to short. Plenty of time in that. So that gives you a small win with the stop and reverse. on top of a big target one. Less than 7 minutes away from the 10 a.m. crude session. All right. Russell making another money management trade. Still short on the micro NQ. Micro Russell, at least at break even. And about to start to trail. And did we just hit target 3 was 23.5. And we hit target 3. That's a win. 3 break evens, 1 loss, and 1 win so far. And trade 5 is still running. Four minutes to crude oil inventory, or not to the 10 a.m. crude session. Money management on micro NQ on the short. Target 4 on the Russell. Stop at 25.2 for the Russell. Catch up with where crude currently is. That entry in amongst the moving averages. Would not have mattered whether you adjusted or not. You would be short. But that's before our start time. With 2:50 to go. Micro Russell and Micro NQ both in shorts. And everything else either done or flat at the moment. The YM is flat. Pound Aussie is flat. Soybeans is POQ. And money management on crude, so that will take that possible get in sync off the table. And MNQ stopping out for a break-even trade. One win, one break even there. $24.7 the micro Russell trailer. And we are 20 seconds away from 10 a.m. crude session. Looking for a new trade on crude. And we're 3 bars beyond the this is the 4th bar beyond bar number 8. So we can take longs now after the crossover 50 coming below the 200. Russell setting new session lows. $23.8 for the stop on the Russell, micro Russell. And we are in our 10 a.m. session for crude. Looking for a new trade. And we have a short on the YM. That's our first valid short of the morning. And now a long. And it looks like the long did trigger, so the short comes off. 07 for the entry. And the high was 07. That takes the short trade off the table. But I would say push your entry to 08. That looked like it spiked through too fast to catch and just came up through. Trying to see if we can get to money management this time. Just below the 50. And there it is. And target one. Target one's only 17. It's a small trade, so I think I would probably trade to target 2 on that one. The smaller the trade, the worse the risk reward ratio is. It tends to be on target 1. Target 2 is 27. See if we can get up to it. 334. And we got as high as 33. I would say you got to take some profit at that. Either position comes off at target 1, which it would have just done, or mark it out of the position. So call that 17 and 09 for the stop. And it did just touch that. or if you used 08 for the stop, you're at straight break even, and that would have survived. And I think I would have probably kept it at 08 given where the 20 SMA is. I'm not trading that, so it's one of those. Don't know if which one I would have done in the heat of the moment. All right, Russell finally stopped out. We have a new long. Okay, the YM did pick up that 27 tick target too. Stopped out for just a couple of ticks. 313. 5 ticks even after the adjustment. So 32 ticks. We're still down 88. And so we'll take this long. If it triggers, looks like 328. Yeah. And that'll be our final trade of the day. That is trade number 6 on the YM. That's only 13 to target 1. 21. They're here again. I would go to target 2 again. You're talking about, that's the, okay. Oh, I know why that's problem. If you have your crossover filter set for 20 bars, which is the default that the calculator comes with, Troy and I, through our testing, both agree that eight bars is sufficient, and that's what my calculator is set at. But yes, that would have, that's that's why you have that blue trade grayed out, would be the crossover filter. Notice that the 50 just barely touched, so you got effectively have a cross from high to low, and so it's filtering out any long trades until you get to the, typically if you've got the calculator at default, the 20th bar, but usually the 1/8 is sufficient. So that's where Troy and I both have our calculator set. And for the purposes of the trade room, we don't lose as many examples. That's your standard. That setup is your standard oversold. You got your positive blue bars here. Exhaustion dots there. That's the first bar above the balance line, so you get a long trade. So you won't have a magenta bar here. Let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Your magenta bar should be right here. And the trade that trade should have printed again. I think. I don't remember for sure on Spotlight. Now we have a short setup that will be a stop and reverse for me, or just a straight short for you at 17 for me, at 19 for you. Yes, it would be, in my opinion, it would normally be a good setup. Now, the only thing in this case against it is you're looking at going back through all three moving averages, and we shall see which ends up. Actually, the stop and reverse I'd take down to 16, get around this swing level. And notice it bounced. Didn't trigger the stop and reverse short. And that short has stopped out. So the short is canceled. And I would put my stop back to 14 and keep it hidden. Actually, we hit money management. So stop now is 37. All right, let's see. No, that's not correct, because that was a stop and reverse itself. So that would be 30, 38, 39 for the break even stop, and stopping out at 39. All right, the MNQ with another break-even trade, and now with a potential short and triggering into the short. Russell also triggering into the short. I think this should be the last trade, or may already be trade. No, actually, we already are traded out in the Russell, so no trade here. This is our fourth trade on the MNQ. And stopping out on the trailer, it looks like at a break even on the YM to complete the session. That's a down session on the YM. All right. And a full stop out on the MNQ. And then into a long trade if we could had time. Oh, yeah. Lots of time to get into that long on the MNQ. This will be before. This is the fifth trade on the MNQ. This will actually be the fourth winner because we've got two break evens, which would be counted by the calculator as wins because the stop is plus one tick times however many positions. And we have, for those that trade the 200 EMA setup, there is a short on crude. And money management on the MNQ. Target one achieved. Crude looks like it's kind of in a consolidation after that last down move just before 10 o'clock. Yes, with the as far as the crude setup after the crossover, I would say that one's somewhat problematic. But as it turned out, it was a break-even trade anyway. The character of that move is more like a reaction than a reversal. So that would have been my only reservation about that. But according to my trade plan, yes, that would be a valid trade. Target 2 on the MNQ. That's a second winner. That's a 28.5 point. That's your normal 28.5 point target. So 33.5 plus that trailer, 28. It's like 62 points. Plus have some positions yet to run. And a nice runner here. Target 3. All three markets showing strong upward movement. All three indices that we've got on screen at the moment. Crude testing the 50 one more time. $643.75 for the MNQ stop. No more trades on the pound Aussie this morning. $50 providing support again, or I'm sorry, resistance again for crude. Back to the entry on the short trade. And crude looks like it's not trying to start following the market indices now. Russell pulling back a little bit. Actually, all three hesitating. Just kind of watching things move along. Still got a good crowd this morning. Any other questions or comments? Basically, I typically check the positions. I basically know what my average is for each market, what my average risk is. So I'll determine my position sizes for that day. Yeah, basically every day. I do it daily based on account size and average risk, because you just don't have time when you're day trading to calculate the risk for every trade. So that's one of the things that I do when I'm getting ready in the morning is determine what my position sizing for each market is. Based on how much I'm risking, but the account size, how much I want to risk, and what the average risk per trade is. Yeah, if you're not adjusting but monthly, but you can make some big changes within a month. Now, when you think about that, the day we were looking at on the micro NQ last week, I think it was last Thursday, that was about a 20% gain. Yeah, that also. Yeah, yes, that day with set two or three big nice big runners. Of course, that 20% gain was running on 4 positions, so not quite the same. But MNQ hitting target 4, it looks like, and so that's after a day like that, you want to definitely look at your position size, and the same is true of after a losing day. You want to reduce your position size after significant loss as well, because if you don't reduce that position size, you're risking more than you're intending to. No, I didn't. I gotta try to talk to Troy. We looked at we're looking at a little bit of it on the CEO Trader Mastermind, but we weren't looking at the right chart or the right trade plan. It hadn't been set up for POQ yet, the one we were looking at. So I got to get with him to find the right trade plan that we were on. Yeah, I know that 3 losses. It was 4 or 5 wins and maximum of 6 trades. Yeah, but I don't know what his release plans for. It was going to be a catapult global, but I don't know what his how he intends to release that. I know he's going to make it available to the CEO Mastermind group, but I don't know what his plans are beyond that. Yeah, okay. I would expect that he'll probably release that to the VIP members as well. Yeah, that's yeah. That's the way the VIP plans have always been. Is they have access to all strategies going forward. All right, and the micro NQ stops out. Targets 2, 3, and 4 on a trailer. In between targets 2 and 3. That's a pretty big win. $20 and a, 28 and a half, 40 and a half, 52 and a half. So that's 93, 113, 121 and a half points on the targets on that trade. We already had like 62, 62 points in hand on targets. And the trailer stopped out at 649.50. The entry was 614.50. So 35 points. $156.5 points on that trade, added to probably 80 points or so prior winning trade. So, yeah, so we're probably up 170 because I think we had this one loss. And that would have been 62. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades. We can take one more. So that would be this short. I'd push the entry down to 40, probably 40.50. See where, yeah, 40.75 was the low. So 40.20, 40.25, and we just triggered in. Last trade. All right. Trade number 3 on crude. We get a short. Actually, no, that trade canceled. So still flat on crude. It depends on the trade a little bit. That's kind of one of the art things. Most times I will move it to actual +1, to actual entry +1, or to adjusted entry. But there can be obviously some things that on the chart that may have you keep it at the original. And we've got taking heat on the MNQ trade. We've gotten within a point, but surviving so far. I think this will be the last trade I'll follow this morning unless there's other questions or comments. Starting to dwindle a little bit, and Not surprising. We've been here a little over an hour already. Well, I am rolling over. You're quite welcome. Oh, in answer to your question on the Discord channel, I believe that was Spotlight Master Suite. Yeah. Uh, I have not tested Catapult to speak of on Crude as yet. And Spotlight is working well enough that I'm one of those. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But trades that are not tradable, no, I do not count those as far as system trades. If it's not tradable, then no, you don't count it. All right. Still, and there we go. We just stopped out. So 110 point positive day on the MNQ. Solid win. And ready for another day. All right. Reminder that we are now on the January crude contract. And everybody looking forward to Thanksgiving next week. Scheduled Tuesday and Wednesday. So we will see everybody next week. Have good luck tomorrow in your trades and have a good weekend. See you later, Miles, Trader Man. Both of you have a good day, good weekend. Bye, William. You too. Have a good weekend.